sensational. The Oklahoma City Thunder put it to the Pelicans tonight, 124-92 after a thriller of a game one, a throttling in game two, and the Thunder have a 2-0 lead in this first round series. It's Playoff Central live here from Atlanta. Matt Weiner, Steve Smith, Earl Watson right there. This was not close. This was not close for a while. What did you learn about OKC and the future of this series tonight?
You know, I learned that they can beat you in so many different ways. I've watched them throughout the years, throughout the season as they've grown up, but then obviously you want to see them in playoff situations. Very close game in game one, but then in this game two, they have a lot of basketball players with high basketball IQ that can dribble, pass, and shoot. And it just gave the Pelicans a whole bunch of problems because every guy can do what they can do off the dribble, including Chet Holmgren, and they had no answer for none of those guys. It's
impressive the quality of shots that offense creates, and we'll get into the defensive side of it for New Orleans as well. But possession after possession, Earl, they generate good shots.
And they're unfazed. They can touch the paint and kick out. We talked about that earlier. Smitty brought that up in the last game. Paint touches and kicking out. And we call that good to great, right? But they go good to great to greater, right? They get that extra pass in, and that rotation attacking downhill and close out basketball is the hardest thing to do in the NBA. You would think it would be guarding the dribble. It's guarding the closeout, defending the closeout. That's when these extra shots, these extra threes, these paint touches, the paint dives, the cuts, easy dunks and layups.
59% shooting for the Thunder. That is the third best in a playoff game in franchise history, going back to the Seattle days, of course, when the Sonics were world champions. And Chet Holmgren really set a tone, not with anything physically so much, but with his shot making in the first few minutes of this game.
And it's a difficult matchup. In order to defend them and have a chance against OKC, you must go small sooner because Chet can take you on the perimeter. And he has the size, verticality to defend bigger centers where they bang, he'll catch you above the rim and deflect a shot or block a shot. He's cool with that. But on the offensive end, offensively, big centers cannot guard him. He can dribble, can pass, he can shoot, and he can extend the court and play beyond the arc.
Yeah, and we'll get a chance to break it down, and I'm so impressed because I'm saying, how can he do it against this guy banging him? But Earl talked about it. Watch him right here. He's set up in a corner. This is a closeout by Brandon Ingram. He beats him off the dribble, and then he plays a little big boy and knocks down the shot. Next one right here, you know, he's playing off the screen and roll right here. When it's a double screen, you have the first one, then the second one. Then he dives. And the one good thing about him is that you can see once he gets around the basket, there's no one else he's going to be able to dunk it. These are the easy ones. Last one right here is just he has Valanciunas on the island. And I guess we wanted to show his versatility where he's nimble, Matt, because he went through his package, fell down, and still didn't turn it over, Earl. So that's impressive for him, a guy that size, even though it's not a positive play. He can handle the basketball in that way. And then defensively, you can see go at one, then go after another, get a rebound, and then get out on the break and run. And he is lining up as a wing guy, a catch, and then a dribble where he's off the dribble going up against a smaller wing guy. You see there not posting him up. And he's first step, and then we always talked about his strength. I don't know what happened on that play, but he looked real strong and physical on that play.
It's remarkable. He played all 82 games in his rookie season as a 210-pound center in the NBA. Eventually, his future could be at the 4, maybe even the 3. He's got those
26
kinds of skills.
points today.
But 26 points, 5 of 5 in the first quarter, 3 of 3 from three-point range. So it's not just the size. He's a modern NBA big who can shoot the 3.
And he stays out of foul trouble, Earl.
He does.
That's the one thing I love about him.
Yeah, he takes the blows to the chest. He hit the physicality. He meets you at the rim. But OKC has defined positionless basketball. This is the future of the NBA right here. This team and this style of play with these talents. They did a great job of not just drafting the talent, but you also have to develop the talent. And then you have to get them on the same page. They are moving that ball like a young Golden State. You have to be careful the way they're moving that ball when you defend against them. But be prepared on the board for so many tendencies of each player and personnel.
80 points out of their young big 3. Holmgren, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and, of course, Jalen Williams as well. Okay, for New Orleans, I don't know what you learned from this, Earl, or if you just try to erase this from your memory going back. They played such a competitive game in game one on a short turnaround. Remember all the lead changes, all the ties. That game was anybody's to be had down the stretch. What went sideways for them tonight?
I think one thing I do, if you're New Orleans and the staff, you have to be creative and get out of the box. You have to say we have to go smaller, quicker. What does that look like and who comes off the bench, right? We have to find a way to get our guys in transition or moving off the ball, not isolation, but moving off the ball, catching the ball, then attacking, paint touches and scoring for kickouts. Right now it's too much basketball, Smitty.
Yeah, it is. Earl, and I hate to say this because I'm a guy who believes in defense wins, but they have too many defenders out on the floor and not enough guys that can create. Like Earl said, they're going to have to go smaller and try to beat guys and get a lead, put some pressure on OKC's defense. They really don't. They're loading up to CJ and loading up to Brandon Ingram, and they'll give a few shots up, to Trey Murphy, the three. But other than that, they're saying, hey, if you want to go to Valanciunas, that plays into our hand. He might score, he might not, but as long as he's on the floor, we're going to take advantage of him on the other side.
And the Pelicans didn't enjoy the huge rebounding advantage they did in game one. Valanciunas, remember, had 20 rebounds in that game. He had 7 tonight. Meanwhile, New Orleans just 7 of 26 from three-point range.
Yeah, and I think the shots they're getting from three-point range is contested. It's one-on-one. They're not in the flow of the game. They got to the free throw line a little bit better today, but they're going to have to find a way to have some guys play. I mean, Jordan Hawkins is a guy that can flat-out shoot it. They're going to have to be more creative in what they've been doing, Earl.
And if we are going to play big, we're going to miss three-point shots. We need more offensive rebounds, right? That gets you to the free throw line and slows the game down, allows you to set up your defense. But if we're going to play big and miss threes and let OKC get in transition, we're in trouble.
Just 8 of those tonight, and it's a blowout win. The Oklahoma City Thunder.
They're almost 60, 50, 90. that just shocked me right there. 59, 48.
59, 48, 90?
Whew. Yeah. That's like a preseason game.
Yes.
Yeah, it was not close tonight. And again, it'll be Saturday night before there's game 3 in New Orleans. Do you anticipate lineup changes for the Pelicans? I mean, I know it's a thought, and certainly it'll cross Willie Green's mind, his staff's mind. At this stage in the game, do you think they'd be willing to make a significant change?
You better be careful because you can lose a team doing that, right? So I wouldn't do it so soon. I would do quick subs. Right, a quick rotational change, and then try to mix in the rotations to adjust the game accordingly. But you want to go extreme yet, but you're at desperation mode, Smitty, because this was bad.
Yeah, I think for them is, like Earl said, maybe not right away in game 3, but game 3 of the second half, I might be looking at things that are not going well.
Well, it's just one game, but it's a 2-0 lead for Oklahoma City after a blowout in game 2.